Hey YouTube, Adventures with Dale here. I'm going to do a video on all the seasons changing up here in northern lower Michigan. So it's starting to see a little bit of color. Let me see if I can zoom in on that hill there. Just a little bit of color yet, but not in full bloom. This is always one of my favorite spots. You can see for miles out here west of Rose City. This one hill that we're going down. Kind of cool. Mostly pine out here. There's a few little oaks, scrubby popple, stuff like that that's changing, but pretty green for the most part. A little bit of red. Sorry about that camera jiggle on that last turkey pick. I was afraid I was going to get hit by another car. Here's a Kirtland warbler sign that this is their habitat. They use the pines for reproducing. Don't hold me to it, but at one time there was supposedly only 300 or 400 of these birds left, and this is where they nest. It's the only spot in the world, and they actually have to burn the forest off once in a while in order to create habitat so that they can survive. And one year, I think it was like 1981, they were burning for the Kirtland warbler, and it got away from it, and it burnt 38,000 acres, and I think one firefighter actually got killed. We're at the county line, Ogama County line, north, so kind of interesting. I suppose I could live in a city, but I don't know. It's hard to beat this. I believe that's a hawk right in the middle of the road. At least I'm capturing quite a lot of wildlife today. See how brave he is. I'm not gonna run over him, but there he goes. Huh. Michigan has some pretty good sized anthills too. Matter of fact, thousands and thousands of them scattered through the woods. So you don't want to set on one. That's a voice of experience. When I was a kid, I sat on one and I got chewed up pretty good. Still flowers coming, even though the ferns are all but done. There's not nearly as many people moving around back here as there used to be 15-20 years ago. Some places in this road is all but growed over. Everybody needs to get out and check it out because it's beautiful out here. This is one of my all-time favorite spots. This is Big Creek Swamp up here on the Ogama County border and the Vasco border. Water's extremely low. You can see where the beaver been working right here, that trail that goes out. There's basically no water in it. Huh. But it's just pretty. Untouched by humans. It's kind of a rare thing nowadays. The sound of wildlife going about their daily routine. I don't know if you can see them or not. There's fish, little baby fish all over the place out there. There's a pretty good sized one. Huh. I love that sound. Civilization existed out here. Kind of hard to film him, but this here's a trail that my dad and I used to drive down in there and metal detect and search around. There's an old railroad trestle that goes across the top of that hill right there. And there's another one that goes through these woods right here out to the clearing where we were at, where I was showing you the little fish. Somewhere between here and this clearing, I'll drive up here real quick, kind of show you. This is pretty well growed up compared to what I remembered it, but it was growed up then too. But somewhere between what we just drove past and this clearing, there's a train sunk right in here. Back in the, I don't know if it was 1870s, 1890s, they were building a railroad grade through here. And it was the fall of the year. It would freeze at night, and you know, they just got to a point where they stopped, but they had the engine sitting on the tracks. Well, the ground underneath was soft, but the top was frozen, and it tipped over in the middle of the night. It sank and tipped over, and I don't know all the story, but we pretty sure we found it. We drove some re-rod in the ground, and we hit what we thought was steel. And a fellow that we knew a long time ago, he says he swears to God it was out here. He did find it. But right in here, supposedly there's a train sunk in the mud. Pretty cool history. I can't believe how dry everything is. There's just no water in the swamps. I've never seen this empty of water. Here's an area that I haven't seen yet. This is all cut off. This is a really big timber cut which, you know, nature needs that to regrow. But these are always the areas that I would look for when I was metal detecting, like every single day of my life, because believe it or not, there was people out here trying to farm this and stuff after the 1800s. You know, when a big fire came through, they would clear the land and try to farm it. You'd be surprised just how much stuff you would find out here. You would think that out here in the middle of nowhere that there wasn't any human interaction, but there was. I mean, you don't find, occasionally you'll find a nice coin or something like that, but you can kind of date the area by finding plow teeth and things like this here, you know, old harmonicas. You know, a lot of that stuff could have came from the people that actually timbered, you know, pieces of a crosscut saw, axe heads, things like that. But there's things in the ground, and like in a couple years you won't be able to walk through here. It'll be, the new growth will be 4 foot high or so, and you just can't do it with a metal detector. So this is ideal for metal detecting an area that nobody probably has ever touched. Here's a spot that not too many years ago was not here. You can see them trees like right here in this corner. They weren't there, and this whole valley was kind of like basically open. But I'm going to say that's probably 800 yards, maybe 1,000. We're up here quite a ways. You can see some of the trees are starting to turn. Let me see if I can zoom in on that. Across the way there. Well, they turned it into a hill climb. I got picnic tables up here, stuff like that. It's hard to see, but right over there, there's a valley that goes down and then comes up. On the next hill, there used to be a cabin or a farmhouse or something. We used to metal detect that quite heavy. There was stuff going on here a long time ago, but the woods kind of made it disappear. It's pretty cool up here. Hopefully the wind isn't causing too much trouble, but you can see for a long ways. Well, if you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll try to get some more up. I'm sorry that my camera skills ain't the greatest, but at least I'm getting content out there and trying to share some of the things I do. Thank you.